चेहरे को ढांपना। जब भी पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट का इस्तेमाल करें या फिर जरूरी काम से शॉप पर जाना हो, धुंधलाए हुए ग्लासेस। हर कोई जो अच्छे से चेहरा ढांप रहा है वो कोविड-19 को फैलने से रोकने में मदद कर रहा है, क्योंकि इसे कोई भी कैच कर सकता है और कोई भी फैला सकता है। इन चीजों से फर्क पड़ता है। आइए ऐसा करते रहें। घर रहिए, NHS को तहफ्फुज़ दीजिए, जिंदगियां बचाइए।
This is Salaam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim community radio, broadcasting on 106.2 FM and online.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Salaam Sports here on Salaam Radio 106.2 FM. We are live, we are back for our second show post-pandemic, and we are still light of the usual trio. Sadat Akram, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Very nice to see you again back in the studio.
Great to see you.
This
Always great.
lovely studio, and still getting used to it. Still getting used to it, isn't it?
I got lost as I came up. I was like, which door were we at? I had to go back down to check which number we were.
I did exactly the same thing. So if you guys don't know, we are in a brand new studio out here in Peterborough, and it's got all the bells and whistles, and it's making us sound even nicer than we usually do.
I didn't think it was possible with you.
Yeah.
I thought you were that.
I do try my best. Aslam, a big shout out, Aslam, to Inspire FM 105.1. We are live in Luton as well, so very nice.
They know we were back and Luton just said, of course we want to listen to them.
Exactly. This is it. Yeah, we were back one week last week and they missed out. So, I'm sure you can find this show probably on the YouTube channels. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of ways to get involved with the show, guys, as always. I'm going to give you the details. Take these down if you want to interact with the show. We'd love for you to get your comments in. You can call into the studio 01733 602 133. You can email the studio at salamradio.co.uk, and you can text in at 07411 191062. But how do we?
How do you remember all those numbers off the top of your head?
Do you know what? I'm just really good like that. How do we prefer them interacting with us though? What's the preferred method? FB. So we are Facebook Live, we are YouTube Live. Guys, if you are watching this on Facebook, then let me see where the camera is. Where's the camera?
You're watching me on Facebook. Hello.
Where's my camera? Is my camera over there?
No, your camera's behind you.
Is it there? It might be there. I don't know. Yeah. Give us a shout out. Assalamu alaikum. We've already had Mohib saying, Lemina. Who's Lemina? Did he play for Fulham?
It is, doesn't he? Oh, who's playing at the moment? Is it
Liverpool's playing Fulham. Liverpool's playing at home. They've lost 5 games on the trot at home. They've got Fulham. It should be an easy win.
Oh, it should be for Fulham, but you never know.
It should be for Fulham. Bilal Javid's watching. He's probably going to say Lamina as well. Bilal, what's the score in the Liverpool game, please? I'm here entertaining you guys at the expense of watching Liverpool depress me and ruin my weekend again. At least I'm having a good time here. Shazad is watching in Pakistan. Shazad, assalamu alaikum. Say salams to mum and dad. Hope they're well. Shazad says assalamu alaikum. And yeah. Good to be back. What have we got on the show today? We are going to be talking football. We always talk football.
Yeah, of course.
Can we just postpone that for as long as we possibly can?
Well, depending on the comments, if we can or can't we? Really?
Yeah, I guess the comments are... Majid Ali's watching. And Majid Ali, I mean, as you know...
Who's Majid Ali?
Majid Ali is... Who's Majid Ali? If you don't know Majid, you don't know. Who are you? Majid Ali's watching. Maj, are you watching us because it's better than watching Liverpool right now? Because that's how I'm feeling, to be honest with you. Not great stuff at the moment, but we are Salaam Sports, not Salaam Liverpool FC. So what else is on the agenda for today's show? Sadat?
Well, cricket. England, another defeat. An innings defeat. And I believe it was 25 runs. Innings and 25 runs. Got up early to watch it a bit on Saturday. I thought I'll watch a bit of cricket, and it was over.
So the last test was pretty much an innings defeat as well, wasn't it?
That's 3
they lost by 10
tests,
wickets.
3 successive heavy defeats by England. What's happened to them? And this new player for India, I can't remember, I've got his name somewhere here, Axar Patel, apologies if I pronounce it wrong. Axar Patel is the newest spin sensation. And this is his debut test. He's been playing T20s for India. And to be honest with you, I've not heard much about him until now.
This is his test debut?
Yeah.
Okay, so for a spinner coming out of India, you'd want to make your test debut firstly at home.
Yes.
Because you know what the Indian pitches are like for spin bowlers. And secondly, against England, because historically England have really struggled in the subcontinent against spin.
And this player used to be a medium pace bowler. He converted. So when he was 15, he started off as a medium pace bowler.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for him. He started off with Mumbai Indians in the IPL and didn't play for them. He's played some county cricket in England. You know, he's been around since 2013. I think he made his first.
So it's a bit like you then, because you started off as a right arm fast, and then you've moved over to a right arm, not very fast anymore.
Yeah. But I broke my arm about 3-4 times.
You should know about this stuff. Like, I mean, how common is it for bowlers to change at that? I mean, 15 is probably not too late, but
well, it is, because a spinner, it takes a lot.
You need years and years to hone your skill, don't you?
Yeah. So either he's done massively brilliantly well, but I've not heard around outside of India now. Obviously, this is India's first step. We'll see, because I believe in the summer India are touring England, so we'll see if they bring him over and how he does well there.
That will be interesting.
That will be a nice little test.
And also, it'll be interesting to see if England can exact a bit of revenge, because let's be frank, we've been embarrassed, haven't we?
Yes, of course, we have. They were the same pitch, because we can talk about the pitch and spinners all day long.
Yeah.
The same pitch for both teams. But England historically are not good players of spin. We all know that. But are India any better? Because they didn't have a great, big scoring like 400-500s every single game. I think they got 6 wickets or 5 wickets with Joe Root.
Yeah, Joe Root. I mean, Joe. Again, I mean, I'll go back to
part-time bowler.
Yeah, I mean, that pitch. It wasn't a pitch, was it? I mean, it was just cracks.
Is it fair for the home team to create such a pitch to make you so, basically?
So everybody does it.
A 3-day test.
Literally, everybody does it.
Yeah.
Like, they're always going to set up a pitch to give the home. Like when we have our tests over here, and we've got James Anderson. We'll get him to bowl in the morning. We'll let tufts of grass grow. We'll let it a little bit. We'll keep the pitch covered a little bit longer.
That's more the weather conditions. He's much better as well, because it's clouded, so you get more swing, and he's much better.
No, but what I mean is, like, they don't cut the wicket short. They'll allow tufts of grass and so on. And so, are you saying India possibly went too far?
Yeah, I think so.
So what do they actually do? Did they just not roll the wicket? Is that what it is?
The groundsman, obviously, they're all saying it was brilliant, well done, groundsman, all that stuff.
Of course, man of the match, groundsman,
It's getting all the bonuses, but it's just all scuffed and roughed from day one. What you expect, wear and tear on a day 4/day 5 pitch, it's on a day 1 first thing. And you've got opening bowlers, spinners, Patel and Joe Root for the other side, and Patel for India, and it's just, it's a shame, but it's something England have got to learn, or any other team's got to learn whenever they go to.
So there's no rules around who opens the bowling, but just
no.
For me, it feels wrong not to have a fast bowler opening
brand new cricket ball, nice and shiny. It
just feels wrong, doesn't it?
Around and bounce about.
And that's the other thing. Like, if you can get spin, if you can get turn with a shiny new ball, then that tells you all you need to know about the state of the wicket, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
I mean, but then, to be a great player, so Joe Root, for example, for England, they need to play in all conditions. This is labelled on most of the England players, even on Kohli. It's great in his own conditions, subcontinental conditions, but when it comes to England,
Kohli did fantastic in Australia as well, though. When India toured
his
Australia,
averages are much lower than normal.
Of course,
so then his, I think it's below 40 in.
No, but then you get teams who are sensational at home and awful away. That you see that in football as well. Look at Liverpool. Oh, let's not.
Again,
let's not.
We're looking at home or away form.
Shout out to Zubair Mohammed, who's watching, Asif Nazir, who's watching, Sadiq Ismail, who's watching. Thank you all for joining us. Get your comments in. Let us know what you think. What are your views on England's tour of India? Has it been a complete disaster? Where did they go wrong? Their handling of Moeen Ali. Again, I mean, I know this is.
Because I said I wanted to watch it on Saturday. I don't even know if he played in this test. As soon as I saw England lost, I thought, it's all over.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to go watch a game. I thought, what's going on here? Innings of 25. And I thought, without even looking at the stats.
So how did you feel then? You must have gotten yourself ready, sorted yourself out, thinking, I'm going to have a nice 4 or 5 hour stint watching some test cricket.
Saturday and Sunday, because, I think it was only the third day on Saturday.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's now available on channels where I don't have to subscribe to.
Yeah.
So I can watch it nice and peacefully. other days, obviously, you work, so whatever people may think, working at home, I don't have the TV on in the background.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's just that. So it's getting to watch it, and it was there. And I thought it's a tea break or something. I thought, okay, it's either lunch or tea break. I've come down and watch it, and it's all over.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I could have stayed in bed for an extra hour or
So there was a time back when Australia was so dominant. I think we talked about this, and they were so dominant, and they'd blow teams away in 3 days, and then they started saying, "Can we change the tests to be 4-day tests?" And it never quite happened, but it was because it was so dominant. This is an equally dominant performance by India against England, isn't it?
Yes. Oh well, congratulations. They've won the series. Well done. I don't know, how would you be as an Indian team member? You know that you've got a pitch there or ground's been done just for you to win that game. Is it extra pressure because if you don't win, you're thinking, hang on, you've got extra advantage, you're home,
Has
you've got the ground,
has to be, yeah.
and you win. And then when you do win, is it, yes, we'd won, or is like, well, it was inevitable really with that pitch, weren't we? We ain't going to lose to that on that pitch.
Yeah, you can kind of like both. It puts added pressure on the home team, and then the away team. They can use it as an excuse, but I always find like the moment you give yourself the excuse, you're almost setting yourself up to fail. What you got to do is you got to go in with the mentality. Look, the odds are stacked against us, but we are absolutely going to do everything we can.
But what happened? What did they do on the? I mean, what did they do on the first test? Because they lost the first test. England won the first one.
Yeah,
and they scored, I think, over 400, whatever it is, and stuff. So what happened to India there? Did they sack the groundsman? Clearly, they probably didn't.
Of course, of course, you don't sack the groundsman because your team lost. Yeah, it's like it's obviously your fault.
I don't know what saying the mentality at the time on the first game, they probably didn't think we need to do the pitch that we can win on a neutral ground, shall we say.
Yeah.
Is just let it naturally behave as it should. Decided, no, this is not going to work for us. We need to tip the balance towards India.
Yeah, I mean, serious questions would have been asked of the Indian captain and the Indian team had they lost to England in India. That was just that's inevitable. But at the end of the day, they've got themselves a convincing. Was it 3 tests now that they've won or 2?
Four. Sorry, they played 3-1.
They've won 3 in a row now.
Yeah.
Series over.
So it was 4 test series. So
and and then the question I asked you earlier: do you think England will exact revenge on India when India tour?
Got to.
You think so?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you think Anderson's still going to be playing
this summer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think.
When's he retiring? He's supposed to be retiring for the last 5 years.
People have asked that question, haven't they? Yeah. I think this is probably going to be his last year. I can't see him touring after this. So it's going to be the home tour. I think it'll be definitely the home games where he'll probably retire and show his last game. So against India, maybe. I don't know if they're playing anybody else other than India this summer. It's if that goes ahead, depending obviously with the COVID-19.
Yeah.
But then I think I'll be surprised if he continues. And if he does continue, good and bad, because haven't they got anyone else that can replace him?
I was going to say to you, so I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming you're a fan of Pakistan.
Yes.
But if Pakistan are not playing, you're a fan of England.
Yes.
England's like your second
I was urging England to win in India.
Of course, yeah. Well, whether you're a fan or not, when they're playing India, doesn't matter who it is. You'll urge Zimbabwe to beat India, right? So yeah, that is what it is. But then, okay, so as a part-time fan of England, then, is it not worrying?
It is
that Broad, Anderson. I mean, these guys, they're still.
Well, they dropped Broad for a while, and then they brought him back.
And they brought him back, yeah. So if these guys are fit, and these guys are still getting picked, then that means there's a huge gap in talent.
There is.
Like, where are your people in the early 20s, mid 20s?
Yeah.
Just about to hit
Archer is the
Jeffrey Archer.
Jeffrey Archer.
Jeffrey Archer.
Jeffrey point guard. I was going to say, could have even said in it.
Kane and Abel.
Yeah. So that's the only. I'm trying to think of anybody else who's broke into the ranks. And even then, they try and bring Archer in because he would have been eligible to play for, I believe, West Indies. He could have played.
So they were trying to tie him up.
Yeah, tie him up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a worry. And England's always had this problem where they had the bowlers, they were lacking batsmen. It was the same old batsman again.
Yeah.
And bringing back in the, where at a time it was Mark Rampakar kept coming in and out. And
I just feel like it's a bit unfair on Anderson and Broad. I mean, they've done the business. They've done it for time. But
another again, Anderson again, great bowler. But as soon as he's abroad, he's not the same. He was very poor in Australia.
No, absolutely. Yeah, that's known. That's a known. Yeah.
So you've got to have somebody who's It's very rare. Is it rare to say someone who's good everywhere? You know, not just in your home ground.
So, I mean, this is what
Shane
differentiates.
Shane Warne, for example.
This is what I'm saying. This is what differentiates between a decent bowler and
Yeah.
a world-class bowler.
Yeah.
So Muralitharan was a world-class
Yes.
bowler. Shane Warne was, I'd say, who's the opening bowler when Shane Warne used to play for Australia? Glenn McGrath. Yeah, quality. There's
Yeah.
Alan Donald for South
Yeah,
Africa. You know, could do it anywhere. England. Have we had
Wasim Akram,
somebody?
Waqar Younis,
Yeah, I mean,
Mushtaq,
yeah, of course,
all
yeah.
those.
But then, have England ever had a bowler that's done it on all surfaces in all conditions? I don't think so. I can't remember one bowler thinking this guy can blow a team away. Doesn't
Nothing
matter
coming, no.
what kind of
Yeah.
track they're playing on.
Yeah, no.
And maybe that's an indication of how little English players travel. Because a lot of them they learn their game at school and then the county system and so on. They play in the UK, and then when they get abroad, they get found. When they go abroad, they get found out.
Yeah, well, with the subcontinental players, their aim is, as they grow up to the 50s, 60s, 70s, to start playing in the county here. So they do travel quite a bit, play here in these conditions, and it helps on both sides.
Okay, well, really disappointed with the outcome for England there in India. They'll be going back home with their tails between their legs.
Yes, unfortunately.
Let's move on. PSL. What's going on in PSL?
Yeah, I wanted to watch a bit of PSL. That finished early as well. Because
So, you know, with PSL, like, there was so much excitement around it,
Yeah.
especially this year for some reason. There was a real buzz. I mean,
believe the games
have the budgets gone up?
No, the games was now started to be playing in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Because obviously the other countries have been touring now. Pakistan, I think, was it South Africa? Sorry, it was before that.
Sri Lanka went in there?
Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
I believe, and Zimbabwe before that. So it was, yeah.
Kudos to Zimbabwe for coming.
Yeah.
Because
They were the
was it
first.
Zimbabwe the first? Yeah.
Yeah, they
So
were
they
first,
opened the door. They
yeah.
said, look, we believe it's safe enough. People are saying it's safe enough. Let's go. And they've opened the door to other teams touring.
Yeah, so great. It was brilliant. And England are actually expected end of this year to go to Pakistan.
Okay.
So that's been penciled in.
That's going to be incredible.
Well, yeah, it'll be amazing.
That
Again,
is going to be incredible, yeah.
nice to see what sort of pictures Pakistan will make. Because they're so used to playing in Dubai now that I don't know what pitch that they want.
Yeah. Their groundsmen have been furloughed for the last 10 years.
Yeah, so, you know, it's been PSA. It was something to watch. I think they were going to let limited number of crowds come in as well. They were going to start to do that. However, it's now been postponed because of COVID-19. I think there was only I say only, sorry, that's probably not the right word.
So PSL, sorry, let me just get you back on the PSL. So how far through the PSL season were we?
5 games at most.
Okay.
Each teams had played. 2 teams had played 4. So, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams.
So you play everyone twice. That's
Yeah.
10 matches were supposed to be played.
Yeah,
And then
so
there's probably some
midway,
kind of
so-
knockout competition
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
So
4,
midway
5,
through the
1.
league stages.
Yeah.
And has it been postponed or cancelled?
Postponed is what I read today.
Right.
It has been
So
postponed.
that's the other tricky thing, isn't it? Is that the cricketing calendar is so full that you've got to find these pockets to get tournaments like PSL or IPL or Big Bash or whatever it is, get them on in specific time slots. But by postponing it, I mean, what? Postponing it for a year? Because how do you get those
I don't know.
superstars?
You get back again, yeah, because the
together?
calendar's going to be very busy.
Yeah.
But I read today that they were even offering the players the vaccine. So
Okay.
to give them the vaccine. I mean, again, but it's going to take weeks before that kicks in. Anyway, so you know, it's not as if you have the vaccine today and tomorrow you're fine. So there were 7 players, and there's been criticism the way the PSL board, have obviously not isolated all these teams. How these 7 players caught COVID-19, don't know. And then it's obviously question the T20 World Cup, how they're going to handle that, and what's the strategy.
So I guess, so what is the strategy then? You test everyone. You test
Well,
the
yeah.
players, the coaching staff and everyone.
I suppose
but
it's
then
similar
you-
to football, innit? So they test and they try and keep it in a bubble as
But
much
then
as
they
you can.
keep them in their bubbles, right?
Yeah.
But is that what the issue is with the PSL? They've not been able to
I don't think
keep
they're in the
certain
bubble.
players
They've
within their
actually,
bubbles.
started an investigation, sort of like a board
Right.
investigate where we went wrong, where they went wrong, and what they could do better for future. And hopefully that will help for the T20 World Cup, which was supposed to be last year,
Right.
and now will hopefully happen at the end of this year. It was supposed to be in Australia, now it's going to be moved to India.
Okay.
And that could be, again, a concern. Because India is obviously, with their population, they've had very high number of COVID-19 compared to other countries, shall we say. So see what happens, but it is worrying.
And when's that T20 World Cup scheduled?
It is, let me have a quick look here. So come on. Should be played in October and November 2021 in India. So
Okay.
originally it was October, November last year
And that's the other
in
thing, like,
Australia.
I mean, you'd think,
And again, I don't even know how that decision's come apart to move it away from Australia, who must have done some sort of
so
bidding.
this is what I'm
to
saying
have
to you,
got
like, the population of Australia is negligible compared to the population of India.
it. Yeah.
So you could, and Australia is a developed country, first world country, they could roll out a vaccine,
Yep.
get, 80-90% of the population vaccinated before the World Cup even kicked off. And then you'd think that the people traveling to the World Cup, they'd have the means to travel, so they'd have the means to acquire a vaccination. And they'd have to take tests before they
You expect
travelled
the
anyway.
facilities to be much better
Yeah.
with respect in Australia than
So that's
in
an odd
India.
one. That's an odd one.
So
That's
it's an
almost
odd
asking
one.
for trouble.
Yeah, and
the-
Australia, I'm not sure of Australia, but obviously New Zealand, the neighbours have dealt with this. It's very obviously news in the news highly.
Yeah.
How New Zealand has dealt. I'll get my words out correct. How New Zealand have dealt with the COVID-19 much better than other countries and places.
Yeah.
And they've been kudos to them how they've done it. But so it is a surprise, and we'll see if it happens.
Yeah.
That's the plan, isn't it? So, and it's a suggestion to go
That'd be
to
interesting.
India.
I mean, there's a lot of. I just feel like there's a lot of things stacking up that all going to need to happen all at the same
Yeah,
time,
when the World
just
Cup,
to catch
football
up.
World Cup, golf. Well, I don't know tournaments if they've been affected. What's happening?
So the Olympics last year were
Yes.
cancelled.
Yes.
That was massive. Like the
Yes.
Olympics is one of the biggest sporting events in the world.
Yeah.
That got cancelled.
And where was that supposed to be held?
That was Japan, wasn't it?
Japan, was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think it was
wow.
Japan.
Wow.
But that got cancelled. So was that? I don't even know if that was pushed back 1 year, or if that was pushed back 2 years, or what were they going to
Or
do?
completely cancelled until.
Yeah, we can maybe talk about that next week. I'll have a look into that because I always look forward to the Olympics. I love the Olympics, and it's just a shame that it has been pushed back. We've got a message in from Sadiqa saying less red tape in India, so things are done super speedy. That's a good point. That's a really good point. As in, like, if the T20's held in Australia, and a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of red tape, things don't get done. I don't think Sadiqa's saying that's necessarily a good thing, because
I was about to
if there's
say,
less red tape, things happen
let's
quick.
cut corners.
Yeah, exactly. So that could be a reason why it could be a reason why it's moved potentially. But it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I'm going to have to move you on.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's also something going on in the world of golf. What's going on in the world of golf?
Yeah. It's this Arnold Palmer Invitational golf.
Yeah, so Arnold Palmer's one of the greatest golfers of all time.
Oh, is it? See, I did.
Yeah, Arnold Palmer. Yeah. So Arnold Palmer you might have seen him actually. He might have actually been at the tournament. I mean, he's really old. He's probably in his 80s now.
Oh, wow.
But he was like, of his generation, he was the best golfer. And then Jack Nicklaus
Is he
came along.
like the Pele of football, sort of like?
He's the original Pele, but since then there's been two other Pelés.
Oh, okay.
So you could say currently Tiger's the Messi. Although
Yeah.
Tiger's kind of
Yeah, there's always there.
no, Tiger's more of a
but the
Zidane, I
original-
think. In that
reckon?
he stopped playing now, but he was the most recent brilliant player. But yeah, Arnold Palmer, he has an Arnold Palmer Invitational golf tournament every year at Bay Hill. Tiger Woods has won it more times than anybody else. I think he's won it 6 times.
Oh wow.
So he's won that tournament so many times. So it's quite poignant.
Yeah, what caught my eye is somebody got a hole in one.
Somebody or two bodies.
Two bodies. I saw
Yeah.
the first one. You told me about the other one, to be honest with you.
Right. So the person that you saw was Jordan Spieth.
Yes.
Got
Great
a
shot.
hole in one of the second hole.
Yeah.
In his
And then the very next, I'm sure it said the very next hole went in the river.
Did he?
Yeah.
Picked up a few shots, yeah, just dropped it back. And yeah, there was another hole in one from a player from Thailand who I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to give it a go.
Is this a rare thing, a hole in one? Because I thought it is a rare thing. I thought.
It's for me and you, yeah. It's
No,
pretty
whatever.
rare.
It's not rare.
I mean,
It's
some
impossible.
professional golfers they'll collect like 20 to 30 hole in ones throughout their career, and if they're playing for 20 to 30 years, it's probably one a year. Is probably about what you can expect.
Is
if
it
you're
like a
playing regularly.
147 in snooker? It's possible, but
Yes.
it's amazing. when
Yeah.
it
So how many
happens.
147s has Ronnie got? I mean,
Ooh.
Ronnie's got something like 10 or 12 televised, but then he reckons he's got about 50 odd in total.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we have to take his word for it.
Well, yeah, if it's not televised, we have to take his word for it. So yeah, I think that's a really good comparison actually, because pro golfers are probably they're probably hitting maybe 1 or 2 hole in ones a year in competition, which means they'll be
Wow.
televised, and then when they're practicing, I'm sure they're getting
Yeah,
hole
yeah.
in ones. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. I thought 1 or 2 in the probably career sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, some people go a whole career without one.
Yeah.
So that happens. It's because it is incredibly lucky. Obviously, the better you are, the more lucky you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people. I know Colin Montgomery, who used to play on the European tour. He stopped playing now. He's a little bit older. But I think he got something like 8 hole-in-ones in one season on the European tour. Yeah, so I think it was like he held the record for the most on tour in 1 year, which is incredible. But yeah, it's not great though, because if you get a hole-in-one, you got to buy a round on the 19th hole for everyone who's playing in the tournament. So if you're playing on day 1 and day 2, there's 150 people you have to buy.
Who started that off?
Somebody who was really happy about getting a hole-in-one long time ago.
Wow.
Any news on Tiger Woods? I mean, he's obviously still recovering.
Still recovering, no.
There was news that come out that said he was unconscious after the
Yeah, it
crash
was, but
itself.
and then he was transferred to another hospital.
Yeah.
Again, other than it's bad luck, I just don't. Yeah.
Yeah, he's had
He
a
was
tough
recovering
time.
with his physio, his back, wasn't he? And then now it's his leg. I know. To be honest, I'm not even sure because they keep saying it's operations on his severe injuries on his leg, but they don't say which leg is right leg or left leg.
So who knows? Who knows if he'll be playing again anytime soon? But obviously, wish him all the best. That's all we've got time for the first half of the show.
Oh no!
It doesn't mean we're going anywhere.
No.
We are going to be joined by Bidan in the second half. And in case you guys are wondering, Arif will be back with us next week. He has to isolate because he's been abroad. Lucky guy.
Lucky him.
So he's isolating at the moment, and he should be back with us next week. So we're going to go to the break. Get your bants ready, guys. I'm ready for it.
Another show,
another defeat for Liverpool, possibly. I'll check the score in the break that we have. Hopefully, it's looking better than it was a little while ago. But yeah, join us again in about 3 or 4 minutes where we come back after this short break. Assalamu alaikum.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
Everyone needs to do the census, so we're making it as easy as possible. If you need support, we've got you covered. Get in touch online or call us. Any personal information you share with us is kept safe. It's confidential by law. Census Day is the 21st of March, but you can complete yours earlier. Visit census.gov.uk. Census 2021. It's about us. Delivered by the Office for National Statistics.
If you want to lose weight, it's not about getting it right, but getting started. Healthy changes start with little changes, one way or another.
One way or another.
And help you to feel better, inside and out, so you'll be healthier and more able to fight diseases. The NHS has lots of ideas to help you lose weight. Search Better Health. Let's do this.
Get you one way.
Desi Restaurant is open, so why not order now for your family meal tonight? We've got fish pakora, chicken pakora, charga steamed chicken, lamb and vegetable samosas, biryani, pizza, faluda, jalebi, gulab jamun, samosa chaat, fresh chicken and lamb handi, lahori channa and much more. We've got it all at Desi Restaurant. Special offer, Niari or Paya with 1 naan or roti only £6. Special lunchtime offer from noon to 4 p.m. Chicken or lamb curry and 2 roti only £6. Mixed veg curry or tarka dal and 2 roti only £5. Order now at desirestaurantonline.com and pay online safely, or call us on 01733 555 795. Delivery available, or you can collect for a 10% discount. 298 Lincoln Road, Peterborough, PE1 2ND. Desi Restaurant, the trusted family favourite in Peterborough.
Every soap grabbed, every tap turned, every 20-second hand wash the moment we get home, every sanitizer bottle searched for in our bag every time we pick up a package or have to go into a shop. Everyone who keeps their hands clean is helping stop the spread of COVID-19. Because anyone can catch it, and anyone can spread it. Everything we're doing is making a difference. Let's keep going. Stay home. Protect the NHS. Save lives.
Park Foods now has free car parking. That's right, park for free for up to 1 hour at Park Foods, the largest ethnic supermarket chain in the East Midlands, now open in Peterborough with the biggest ethnic supermarket in Cambridgeshire. Fresh quality fruit, vegetables, dairy produce, halal meat and poultry delivered to us every day. Park Foods carry a huge range of brands from around the world and thousands of products in our daily use household range, and all under one roof for a one-stop shop experience. Shop in comfort and safety in our large, clean and friendly store. Come and try the difference. All government COVID-19 rules followed. Park Foods, 232 Lincoln Road, Peterborough, PE1 2NE. Open 8:30 to 8 Monday to Saturday and 11 to 5 on Sunday. Remember, now park for free for up to 1 hour. No more pay and display. Yet another reason to shop with ease at Park Foods.
If you have an idea for a show and want to get involved, email info@salamradio.co.uk.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the second half of Salaam Sports here on Salaam Radio 106.2 FM. Thank you so much for joining us again. Second half of the show, traditionally football half hour, but can we talk about anything other than football? So that please. No? Okay, well, welcome back to our listeners, Inspire FM as well, 1.105.1. Thank you so much for listening. And we will open up the second half of the show, football related, with Luton's latest result.
Yes, they lost to Norwich 3-1. Norwich has been known as the Manchester City
of the Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Norwich
They're about
went
10, 11 points clear at top Norwich at the moment. So they're guaranteed, I suppose you can say, to come back into the.
So there's
Premier
a
League.
good news story that we can share with our listeners in Luton. Thanks for that, Sadat.
Yeah.
Cheers for tuning in, guys.
Peterborough also lost, if it makes them.
Who did?
Peterborough.
But we're top
Lost.
of the league, though. So
No, second now because of that defeat. Goal
right, okay.
difference.
Well, let me introduce to the show our long-standing friend of the show, Bidan Ganguly. Bidan is on the line. Bidan, are you there?
I am indeed.
Hey,
How are
good
you?
speaking to you. Yeah, good. How are you doing?
Good. Just been listening to the adverts. It's great that the that park place is now offering free parking, or whatever the greengrocers that was just advertising. But
Yeah. Pack
other than
Foods
that-
is offering free parking. That was actually a blight of the community. There was a machine that you had to pay, but sometimes it wouldn't take coins because it was like somebody would stick some gum in there or something, and then you'd get a ticket. And it's like, what can you do? You couldn't do anything. So yeah, massive boost to the local economy there as a result of
remember getting a
free
ticket.
parking at
we
Park
need all
Foods.
we can get post-COVID, so yeah.
Exactly. But then, I'm glad you're on because that was just saying while we were on break about the Chelsea United game and what your thoughts were on that. So that was your question?
The handball.
The handball. What do you
Oh,
think?
it's 100%. I mean, look, the conspiracy theorist in me sort of says that, look, maybe there was an element of truth as to what, Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire were saying that they heard. And I think that it might have been swept under the carpet.
Yes.
Given, given that, I think that obviously what Luke Shaw said was against the rules, but obviously they didn't want it to be sort of.
Well, Maguire didn't back him up, did he? Because Maguire said that I think Luke Shaw.
So this is what happened. So the referees said something to Maguire. Maguire said something to Shaw. Shaw's gone into an interview and said Maguire's
Shaw
told.
said he overheard it. I don't think he said Maguire.
No, he said Maguire
did he?
told me. Yeah. He said Maguire.
Okay, sorry.
I've had a chat with Maguire, and he said that the ref couldn't give it because it would be controversial. And it was, I guess, Maguire knows the rules a little bit better than Shaw does. He just seems a little bit naive to say something like that. But Maguire's basically then said, no, I didn't say anything. That's not what happened because he knows what the rules are. And Shaw's kind of got in trouble. But interesting what you say, Bidan, about how they didn't push it with Shaw because he has broken the rules, but they didn't push it because they didn't want that to be the limelight, right? They didn't want to highlight the story.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm personally sick and tired of discussing refereeing decisions all the time. I think the media as a whole just need to turn it down a bit because it's going to be discussed endlessly on social media anyway. And now with people like Mike Dean, getting death threats, I think it's starting to go a bit too far. The number one example of that was BT Sport after the Southampton v Man United game. It finished 9-0 to Man United,
Yeah.
but there was a penalty that occurred that made it 7-0. So it went from 6-0 to 7-0.
Yeah.
And they discussed it for more time than they did any of the goals. And it's just like, it's just irresponsible, I think. And I think the referees are under enough pressure as it is anyway, that they should just stop making these decisions the focus of everything. But having said that, I do think that it was a penalty. It should have been given, but maybe because the referees know that there's endless discussions, specifically around United penalties as well. He didn't want the smoke, essentially, so he's just said,
but he was given a lifeline, shall we say, because it was VAR that called him over. So it wouldn't have been his decision in the sense. It could have been VAR's called him over and said, have a look at this. We think there's a clear and obvious
Yeah, so
error.
let me play this back then. So this is what happened. So in real time, no penalty was given.
No given, yeah.
VAR review, and then VAR referee called referee on field
Spoke to his
over,
ear, put his look at
and
the
said, "Come
famous
over here.
fingers
You
to
might."
his ear.
Spoke to his ear, and said, "Come over here and have a look." So, yeah, it's like he's avoided the controversy by not giving it.
Yeah.
If he then gives it based on what, I mean, even as a Liverpool fan, I saw that. I mean, the ball's clearly hit his hand, and it's changed the direction of the ball, and it was in a potential situation where something could have happened.
Yeah.
So, for me, that's an obvious penalty. I don't mind if he doesn't give it because he doesn't think it's a penalty, but I do think, and I know Bidsy, you're saying we should probably just move on because you don't really want to, but. If he thinks he's going to get heat for giving the penalty, then that's wrong. There's definitely a problem there.
Yeah, there was a moment a couple of seasons ago. I don't know if you remember, maybe more than a couple of seasons. John Terry. They said, the referee or one of the referees said after a game, I didn't send him off because he was the England's captain.
Oh yes, yeah.
Is,
Do you remember that, Bidan? When Terry got away with the. Well, a number of times, but I'm sure there was a game where, the referee said, "Oh, he's the England captain. You can't send him off."
Yeah, I think obviously it's just we just want consistency, don't we? Because I mean, yesterday that Arsenal handball was absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry, but
Arsenal fans on Arsenal TV were going mental.
It's like he literally patted the ball down with his hand, and it was like that was not simply proximity. He moved his hand towards the ball.
Yeah,
he did not just hit.
Made himself bigger,
didn't he? Hit his hand. Yeah, he sort of batted the ball down, and Pepe would have gone past him and squared it, but that was a shocker.
Wow.
Well, I just think that, I know it's sad, but it kind of made me feel a bit better about United's decision. But said that, I was just saying, having said that, United just need to stop. Yeah, all right, the Burnley header, the 2 Sheffield United goals, this penalty, the penalty against Fulham, all of these things, that's fair enough. Okay, we could do with a bit of the rub of the green, and maybe we've had a bit of the rub of the green in the past, but it does not disguise the fact that we cannot keep having performances like the one against Crystal Palace. That's just a disgraceful performance.
Well, you guys are dropping like a stone right now, aren't you?
Well, that's what I said. It's like, obviously on our group chat, you've got people obviously taking the mickey out of Liverpool, out of Arsenal, but our form isn't much better than theirs at the minute. I mean, I know we're avoiding defeat, and under Solskjaer, really weirdly, we do go on these like long unbeaten runs and like set records. We're either on a good record-breakingly good run or a record-breakingly bad run.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, completely. Listen, we're going to come back. We're going to come back to this. I just want to bring Sadat back in because Sadat, we were just talking on the break, weren't we, about VAR, and we were talking about how. Do you remember initially when VAR was introduced, the rule was if the ball hits your hand, it's a handball.
Yeah,
right. And whether it's intentional or not, and there was
start of the decision when United had that header. I think was it a Tottenham game. We kicked it and
Crystal Palace.
Was it Crystal Palace and Lindelof? His hand was hit next to his chest.
Yeah.
And the ball hit, and it said, "Oh, it's hit his hand. It's a penalty."
Well, and there was
changed it mid-season.
I mean, even the United PSG when that Rashford. Do you remember that Rashford penalty last?
Yeah,
I know it was a couple of seasons ago,
yeah.
and even Liverpool in the Champions League final for that first penalty. It's like doesn't matter where it's, and I think. That removes all judgment from the hands of the referee in terms of whether it's intentional or not intentional. Is it a natural angle? Is it momentum? Is your arm swing? Is it supposed to be there? Did you move it towards the ball? Are you trying to get it out of the way? All those things disappear if you just say, look, if it hits you between your bicep and your tip of your fingers, it's a handball, and we're going to play it like that.
They did that at the start of the season, and they stopped it
because it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just making a ridiculous suggestion. I don't know. I feel like there's something wrong.
But they've changed it again now. So they said that there's going to be another handball rule change implemented in July, which meant that Fulham, who had a goal disallowed against Tottenham, last week or this midweek, it would have stood next season, which is just bizarre again.
It's
and
crazy.
they've already
What's the
changed the
change now?
offside law this year, and they've changed the penalty handball rule this year. I know this sounds like a bit, obviously like an old man, but whatever happened to just some plain old common sense? You know what I mean?
That genuinely, it sounds like we got Souness on the show.
Whoever's doing this in football, stop it. You're ruining the game.
I know we're not playing great, but what was Pogba doing, being out injured in that last match? What do you think? I mean, what do you think about Pogba's absence now? Do you feel it? Do you feel it?
Yes. I think United feel it. Yes.
I mean,
I think.
Let me tell you a little bit about
with the introduction of Bruno.
Yeah,
it improved Pogba, or took less stress of less, say, attention onto Pogba on the pitch.
Sure.
Say, because you're expecting Bruno to do it, gave him more freedom, and now I think the strain is all on Bruno. How much stick is he getting now for not performing against like Chelsea and all these other games?
I'll let you in on a little secret. I don't even know if it's a secret, but Bedan's never seen that world class player in Pogba. He thinks he can do flashes, but he's never really given him that. And I've always, to be honest, I've kind of fought Pogba's corner with you, haven't I? But I think he is sensational. But I think in this period, in this patch, I think you make a good point in that Bruno definitely changed the whole dynamic of the team. But he changed it initially when he was under the radar. People didn't really know what to expect. Now they kind of do, and it helps when he's got Fred behind him and Pogba alongside him. But when Pogba's not there, you can have Fred and you can have, I don't know, Matic, or you can have McTominay or whatever. There just seems to be too much onus on Bruno performing or producing or creating.
Yeah, and he's always getting criticised.
Yeah, he's getting criticised, but he's not doing anything different.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything. I don't think he's playing worse. I just feel like he doesn't have a partner in crime. Do you get it in midfield? What do you think, Bedan?
Yeah, look, it's... They'll talk about this unlocking of Pogba, and he has been playing well of late. I'm not going to deny that. Credit where is due, but it's like you said. Look, £89 million player. I think that he was always, he's an icing on the cake player rather than the player that is like the person that drives it all. If you get what I mean. And I think that Bruno Fernandes has come in and he does drive it. He sets the tempo. And Pogba can kind of join in because obviously when he was at Juventus, it was Vidal, Marquisio, Pirlo that used to do all of the genius, and he just used to sort of join in.
Yeah.
Which he's good at. But then, and now we've got Bruno Fernandes, Pogba's joining in, and obviously there's talk now that he's going to be offered a new contract and he's probably going to sign it, just mainly because there's no one in Europe will pay more than United.
So you reckon he's been found out, and you just need to get the best out of him for the money you've paid?
I mean, obviously it's going to be an interesting summer because obviously Raiola being Raiola, he's got. Look, Donnarumma is on a free transfer. Do United move for him? Haaland is one of his clients. Everyone's talking about
Donnarumma would be a massive addition to your squad.
I
know Henderson's. He's good. He's very good. He's better than good. But yeah, De Gea seems to be on a decline.
Henderson, and one thing that I've just noticed about Henderson is that watching Man United, you're just not used to the goalkeeper coming out past the penalty spot to catch a cross.
See, I am, because I've been watching United for a number of years. And you have had some in the past. Like Schmeichel was sensational. Yeah. Schmeichel would just own the whole box. Ishfaq Ali's watching. He's made a couple of comments. He's texting. He's having internet issues, so he's texting on Facebook to say, anyone got the Liverpool score? I don't have internet.
How did you get on Facebook?
And then he said, Pogba is the best player at United. He has the sauce.
Well, we'll give him the Liverpool score first, isn't it? They're losing 1-0.
Liverpool still losing 1-0.
Well, I don't know. That's the last I heard.
Let me just double check. I think they are. There's not been an update on. Well, you know what WhatsApp groups like Imtiaz. There's usually people updating it.
If somebody says boom, we know something's happened.
So Asif Akhtar has said, I think I need to do a queue and have less teams to support. So he said he's in pain. So obviously Asif supports Liverpool and Wickham, so I think they're still losing.
Ishfaq Ali, if you can maybe get one of your messenger pigeons out your window and hopefully get an update on the score, you can let us know what the score is on the chat on Facebook.
5 minutes gone, 1-0 to Fulham.
It's just
home defeat to Liverpool.
Do you know what? It's 13 minutes gone in the second half of our show. I think it's time to just. Can we just talk about it?
Answer that question.
Is it Klopp out? Okay, so no. For me, no. And for me, no. Get it?
What?
See? For me, no. Yeah.
What is the most disappointing for Liverpool this season? Is it the injuries? that's caused it, or the lack of fans? Would you prefer a full fit team, no fans, or the team you've got with fans? Because obviously fans make a big difference.
So, look, I mean, I don't know what the issues are, and do you know I don't know what the issues are with Liverpool right now. What I do know is, as far as Klopp out is concerned, I'm not a follower, I'm not a believer at all. I'll tell you why. We waited 30 years for a league
30
title,
years.
right?
Let me say that again. 30 years.
Yeah, and he gave us a team that played, you know, what literally every pundit in the land was talking about as being the best football they've ever seen in their life ever, and the best domination of the league ever. Yeah, you know, like they went OTT, of course they did, but we loved every minute of it. Gave us a great ride in the Champions League whilst trying to win the league against one of the best City sides that they've had, probably one of the best sides in the Premier League that we've ever seen, in that City side that won the league the year before we did, and then follow that up with another 90 plus points on the board. So what Klopp has done for Liverpool, he's allowed himself to, for me 2 bad seasons. Even if he misses out on Champions League, he should be given another chance. And then if he doesn't get into Champions League
So
again,
would you prefer your full team now then fit, or would you prefer the fans back at Anfield cheering them on, 85 minutes gone, 1-0 down, come on now?
I don't know. Like, but did you hear that? Like somebody called in and said our Liverpool players can't play at home because they play in red and the seats are red, and when there's no fans, they get camouflaged with the seats.
Yeah,
and
great excuse.
It's a fantastic excuse. It's really good. I don't know. I don't think fans are the issue personally. I think I'm more of a believer in what Bidan's said in the past about how Klopp works his teams to such a level that they burn out after 2.5, 3 seasons.
It's just that sustainability, isn't it?
It's the sustainability, yeah. Can you sustain those kinds of levels over a prolonged period? And to be fair, I mean, I think I'd rather have lost the league to City the season that we did 2 seasons ago by 20 points than to lose it by a point or 2, because they must have been mentally exhausted at the end of that season because they were go every single week.
God, he has had a dig at them, hasn't he? Or recently, he said, I saw a comment where he said, "I'm proud of City that we've defended every time we've won the Premier League. We've defended really well."
That's valid. That is absolutely valid. It was
probably Leicester's probably had the worst defence, isn't it? Surely,
look,
when they won the league.
Oh, it's Liverpool.
Oh, was it Liverpool?
It
I
is
did
now.
not know that.
Liverpool have got less points than David Moyes' Man United.
Yep. Yeah, they were on. About 2.
Damning.
Yeah, they were 2 points short, and now they're probably 5 points short, aren't they? Ishraq Ali has said, Image and Liverpool have a small club mentality. If a manager at City, United, Chelsea, Madrid, or Barca, the manager would have been sacked by now.
Oh, I think that's unfair, to be honest with you. Well, obviously, look at Man United. We know that that's not the case because we still got Ollie, although, I'm 100% behind that. I think that, look, it's like I said, well, obviously today with the news going out of Scotland, Steven Gerrard has absolutely smashed the...
Stop making rumours. Stop it. No, just because you come onto Salaam Sports and you start talking about Steven Gerrard for Liverpool, it's not going to happen.
But listen, Image, right? So Joachim Löw is going to quit.
Go on. Sorry.
Joachim Löw is going to quit after this summer.
Okay.
And Jurgen Klopp to the German national team. If Jurgen Klopp feels burnt out, if Jurgen Klopp feels like he needs a change, if the team needs a major overhaul, then maybe it is time for a change. But I would give look, Klopp is Benitez. He's achieved more than Benitez, and Benitez was absolutely lauded to the hilt by Liverpool fans.
Yeah, but I mean Benitez won a Champions League, right?
Yeah, so I still think that it should be Klopp. Whatever happens, I think it will be Klopp's choice.
Yeah,
he will not be sacked.
And I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, look, there was nobody that was laughing more at United than me when you guys went from.
That's not true.
Maybe it's not true. Yeah, no, but there's. No, when you guys went manager to manager to manager, I mean, you guys went through a number of managers over a short period of time, especially when you had the whole interim Giggsy thing with the,
boom. I've been told to give a boom by Ishraq Ali. He says, "Can we have a boom?"
Can we have a boom? Oh, okay. So I mean, I think that's not the kind of club that you want your club to be. We don't want to be a Chelsea. Do you get it? Like, we don't want to continually change managers. For me personally, I feel like Klopp's done enough to have an awful season, and let's see what he does in the preseason. Let's see what he buys. Let's see how he rejuvenates. Has he got the ability to rejuvenate the players to go again?
Well, he ain't going to have the players if they don't get the top four. Can't see many people going to Liverpool then. They struggle to get players anyway.
We've been there
But
before.
this is the thing.
Yeah.
This is the thing. So, like, would Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, would they be thinking, right, well, maybe now is the time for a change if Liverpool don't make the top four, or do they have got the loyalty? Do you know what I mean? It's just, we just don't know.
Yeah,
It's cool
you just
to
don't
get
know.
rid of Salah anyway.
It'll
They're
be
saying
good
he's
to
not-
find out. It'll be good to find out. Okay, let's move on.
Move on.
Yeah, let's move on. So, what are we going to talk about?
You got let's Sheffield United.
We can talk about the Manchester derby.
Ooh,
You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Preview?
that's going to be a big one. That's going to be a big one. That's going to be a big one.
Just brought the team out, so they've gone with Dan James on the right, which is what I've been saying in the group chat all week.
Yeah,
haven't I,
yeah.
Mitch?
Dan James on the right. It's a good shout, I think.
Do you not think he should try Ahmed?
About Diallo.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that it's, I don't know, man, as my friend would say, it's just a bit too early on, and I just think Dan James has got that. I mean, Pep Guardiola name-checked Dan James in the press conference, just saying, look, he's direct, he's got pace, and he's going to cause City problems. So I definitely think that him, on the wing is definitely better than Greenwood is a very good player in terms of he's got very good technique, he's very sensible, he uses the ball well, but he's not we need directness now.
Yeah.
We can't just keep getting to the final third and passing it across the 18-yard line. We need directness, and I think Dan James will get behind. And I know he's up against Cancelo, who's been the best fullback in the league other than Luke Shaw, I think, this year.
Luke Shaw's been phenomenal.
Well, no, actually, he's better. Actually, Cancelo's had a better season than Luke Shaw, let's face it. But I think
I wasn't going to call you up on that, honestly, because it's not as crystal clear as you might think.
I think
Luke Shaw has
Shaw's
been
is
sensational.
Sensational. The way his
And
performance.
the thing with Luke Shaw-
obviously, the team itself is not winning. So with City obviously winning, you say that Cancelo is having a better season.
So I know Salah's
Shaw-
having a shocking season. Right, well, he's not having a shocking season, but he's having a shocking patch.
Yes.
Right now,
He's
but
still top scorer.
He's still top scorer, yeah.
scorer.
But then when he was having that unbelievably sublime season, and then we played United, and Luke Shaw pocketed him for the whole game, and I said Salah got nothing out of Luke Shaw, and that's not happened once, that's not happened twice, that's happened 3 times back to back. Luke Shaw has got Salah's number.
Listen, when Luke Shaw's on the bench, even when United need a goal, for example, he's one of the first subs to come on.
Do you reckon
Because he's
it
so
all changed
attacking.
for him when Mourinho said Luke Shaw was playing on my side and I was shouting instructions? Do you reckon that's what
He
happened?
was in his head rent free, he said.
Yeah, Ishrak
I think he
is.
learned how to play the game from Mourinho. That's the thing, of course.
Ishrak goes. Liverpool are just about to lose 6 in a row at home.
I mean, look,
Smashed for
we're talking about
6.
strange and unprecedented times, yeah, obviously with the corona and all of that.
With the
But,
corona and that, yeah.
but this is even like...
No, it's
I
not.
never
Don't say that.
thought-
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say this is worse than corona. I can't believe you're about to say that. Why would you say that?
I'm gonna go off the top 4, shall we say?
Go for it. Sheffield United.
Newcastle. No, I actually
okay.
just remembered Newcastle.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce having a fight with one of his players.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, but it's been leaked.
Oh.
So he's more concerned in his press conference that I'm going to catch the person who
Leaked it.
this story.
Yeah.
Should he be more concerned about that, or should he be more concerned about his actual fight and sort that
No,
out?
he should be more concerned about his league.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what he should be concentrating
That's
on.
what I think.
If he's lost
There
his
is-
players,
No, there is
dressing room.
absolutely nothing wrong with kicking off in a changing room, in a dressing room. Do you see that
I don't know if
footage
it
of?
was a dressing room. I think it was on a training ground, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with that. That happens all the time. If you don't have a bit of passion, a bit of aggression in your training ground, you're not going to bring it
No,
onto
but
the
it
pitch.
doesn't always get leaked every time, does it? The fact that it's leaked, then
Yeah, so his issue is the leak rather than what happened on the training ground.
yeah. But if someone's leaked it, obviously within the team, then he's got issues in the.
And there's going to be
dressing room
another
itself.
training ground bust up. Yeah. This is going to lead to another. What do you reckon, Bitsy? I mean, those kinds of things happen, right? I mean, you saw the way Rashford shouted back at Maguire.
Oh yeah, that was all highlighted. Wasn't it?
No,
Yeah.
but that's like literally the people commenting saying, "Ooh, there's disharmony in that team," and you're like, "No, if you've played football, that's what happens."
if you played with Arif,
If you've played with anyone, like any kind of football, yeah, that's what happens. So,
I thought he was my best friend until I played football with him.
but now, what do you reckon, Steve Bruce?
I think, look, you're 100% right. Whoever leaked that story just needs to, be found out, and it's against, you're breaking ranks there, and it's not cool. It's not cool, and Steve Bruce is, look, he's been inconsistent, but and it looks like Fulham, if they win today, that could send. Will Newcastle be in the relegation zone or 1 point clear because they drew? I think they'll be 1
did
point
Newcastle
clear.
drew earlier was against West Brom, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be 1 point in it, but that has tightened up a lot in the past few weeks, and I just think that you need them to stick together, and fights do happen, and you need to keep it in house. So I agree. So but look, it's exciting at the bottom. I thought weeks ago, all three of them, like Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield United, were all so adrift.
Yeah.
And Sheffield United look like they're finding a bit of form. And you've got West Brom nicking the odd point here and there. Fulham winning.
Sheffield United not finding form. They just got smashed by Southampton 2-0, didn't they?
They won yesterday, didn't they? Didn't they?
They lost to Southampton. Sheffield United lost to Southampton 2-0, I believe. Or am I?
Oh right. But
they're on four. Sheffield United are on 14 points.
Sheffield United are down. He's even admitted that. He said, "Look, it's done for us."
They're 12 points off with 10 games to go.
Yeah, they're down and out. It's between, like you say, West Brom, Fulham, and Newcastle. I can't remember the other team. That
We're quickly running out of time.
Fulham outplayed Liverpool, says it, Ishraq. I just wanted to put that in. Sorry.
Yeah, it's over full time apparently.
Not just winning, but outplayed them. That's more worrying.
Yeah,
Not losing,
but it is
manner.
Ishraq, so take that with a pinch of salt.
No, I don't. Ishraq's a very reliable source.
Very reliable source. We are pretty much out of time. Just quickly before you go, then, thoughts on the Manchester derby. So that win, lose or draw, this is not going to make a difference to your season,
it's not.
is it?
I'll be more surprised if United win than City win, but it is possible for United to win.
Yeah, Bidan, what do you reckon? Chance of an upset, or is this only going to go one way?
Yeah, you know what? It's not cut and dried. And I think United could spring a surprise, but it would be a surprise. Put it that way.
No worries. What time's kick off?
We all remember
4:30.
4:30.
4:30. Right. Well, we're going to make our way to our TVs and go and hate watch on Man United. Bidan, thank you so much for joining us.
Take care.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And to our listeners and everyone who interacted, thank you so much for being part of the show. Inshallah, we'll speak to you next week. Assalamu alaikum.
Cheers, bye.
You're listening to Salaam Radio, and it's now time for Asr Azan.